I was expecting for people to have quite a lot of controversial opinions on me. I actually feel quite sad watching myself because I'm like, I think I let a lot of things slide. Watching it back, I'm not angered, but I'm like, I wish I'd just said, actually, you're not going to be rude and disrespectful to me like that.
Hi guys, it's Jodie here from ODE, back at it again with another Love Island chat for you. And today we've got the hardest working girl in the villa down the line. It's Danica.
Hello, nice to speak to you, meet you all. Can't wait to give you the tea today.
Listen, you look so fresh, you absolute beauty. How are you doing? How are you staying so fresh?
Honestly, it's just the tan. It's just the tan. The tan is doing wonders right now, I promise you. But yeah, do you know what? I feel like I've been here, there, everywhere, but I'm loving it. It's great. You know, I live, quite a fast-paced life anyway, so this is just excelled, which I love. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep myself busy, and when I have time to rest, I'm resting and recuperating. So yeah, life's been really good.
And how are you adjusting to this now? Because you're literally a superstar. I mean, people want your pictures everywhere you go. Like, we've seen you doing performances and all that.
Oh my God. Yeah, do you know what? I think because of the way I am as like just a person anyway, like I just love being a people person. Like I love talking to people, seeing people. And I think it's just so nice, like the people that have actually supported me and have got to know and love who I am, to see them like wanting pictures and everything it's just so nice. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm a born performer, baby. Like I love it, so it's crazy. And it's like, what? Like people know who I am, but I just love it really. And I'm not sick of it just yet, so.
Obviously when you first went in, I mean, you took some bold risks in the beginning. So I feel like people were unsure, but then more and more you just grew on us and we just absolutely fell in love with you. And we were just like, oh my God, we just need to protect Danica at all costs. So how do you feel about like your journey?
If I'm honest, I didn't expect my journey to go as it did. I am actually quite a fiery character, so I feel like I was expecting for people to have quite a lot of controversial opinions on me. But I think with the journey that I had, you all got to see the genuine soft side to me, which is the side that I have that maybe not people see at first. But yeah, my journey, like I wanted to be a bombshell just because, I'm confident. I wanted my little moment and I definitely got it. But yeah, I went for Luca and that was off my own back. I think a lot of people are speculating that it was producer's work. It absolutely wasn't. Luca was my top pick from the get-go. It was just unfortunate that, he was sort of head over heels for Gemma at the time, but you get one opportunity in there when you first enter to kind of go for who you want. And I was lucky that I had the power. So why not go for the guy that I've been watching and fancying for the last week? But yeah, it was crazy. And if I'm honest, I think because Luca was, he was such a huge character in there from the get-go, I think a lot of the boys respected his opinion. And if I'm really honest, I've watched a couple of the episodes back and I think the boys shut off from me because Luca kind of shut off from me. It was almost like because he didn't want to know me, the other boys were like, oh, well, I don't want to know her either. Whereas I think some of the other girls in there, maybe like Paige and Tasha, they were sort of wanted. So I think then it was like the boys were like, well, if she's wanted by them, then I'm going to want her too. And I just think it just worked the way it did at the beginning. But I'm a strong girl. I don't need any of those boys. And thankfully it didn't work out because none of them are for me anyway.
How do you feel now when you're watching it back? Is it sort of changed your opinions on certain maybe things that happened or whatever? Because now you're actually getting to see what else went on.
If I'm honest, I actually feel quite sad watching myself because I'm like, I think I let a lot of things slide. And I think even with some of the girls, I think none of them really warmed to me. And even though I felt it in there, because I was just so happy to be on the show and like, I was like, just take it for what it is. And because I didn't have a couple, I didn't have anyone to support me at the beginning. So I couldn't really express maybe how certain things are making me feel. So watching it back, I'm not angered, but I'm like, I wish I'd just said, actually, you're not going to be rude and disrespectful to me like that. However, it is what it is. And, in one respect, I'm kind of glad that I didn't say what I wanted to say at the beginning because the journey I had may have been completely different. I might have not ever made a connection friendship-wise with any of them because they might have just held me to this fiery standard when actually I have both sides of me. So yeah, but I do feel sad watching it back for myself because I can see some of the looks that I used to get, all the comments, and it's like, oh, do you know what? It's fine because I don't need, do you know what I mean? If people don't like me, that's on them really, because I'm a nice girl and, I just wanted to find love really at the end of the day.
And you got to obviously have your piece with Billy. You got to say what you wanted to say to him. How was that? Because then he got dumped. Were you like, oh, sorry?
You know what? It was a long time coming. I think I was actually quite tame. I think, to be honest with you, with the way Billy actually made me feel as, you know, as a human, as a woman, I actually wanted to say a lot more. I feel like I got my point across either way, and hopefully he won't be doing that to any other females anytime soon. So yeah, and to be honest, was he on there to find love? No, he wasn't. So, and I could see that. So he can just live his life. Do you know what I mean? That's fine. He was just there vibing, maybe to find, I don't know. It wasn't to find love, though. I'm sorry, it was not. It was not.
And obviously you got to say your bit to him, but now that you're watching it back and you're saying that you feel a bit sad watching certain people, is there anyone you're kind of like, I want to pull you for a chat about that?
I wouldn't ever bring anything back up now, because obviously now I did the rest of the experience. I've got to know a lot of them more personally, and we sort of hashed out anything. But I think at the time, I wish I'd said something to Luca and said, there is no way you're going to be rude to me like that. I don't even know you. Like, why are you being rude? But again, me and Luca, like, now it's cool because we had time in there to move past it. But watching it, I wish I'd said something at the beginning. Even maybe with Jacques, you know, Jacques was flirting with me. Jacques was giving me signals that he was, you know, quite into me, but he always said he couldn't do like 50-50. It was either 100 or nothing. And I think he kind of then made out as if he never gave me that kind of inkling that he was into me in that way. And there definitely was a bit of a vibe with Jacques. So, you know, I can't remember if it was aired or not, but me and Jacques had about an hour-long conversation on the beanbags, and it was very flirtatious. We were getting along. And it's like, things like that maybe didn't get shown because obviously it might not have really fit maybe the journey I was about to go on. But there was flirtatious conversations. Yeah, there's nobody else really that I wish I don't know, maybe some of the girls actually. Yeah, I feel like at the beginning, a lot of the girls, you know, they weren't really, like, I'm not gonna lie, watching it back, I've seen sort of the way Paige was when Antigone left, and it was very clear she wanted me to go. And I actually think I wish I'd said, hang on, do you know how that makes me feel? Like, I've done nothing wrong and you're blatantly mouthing things across the fire pit to insinuate, like, what the hell, why is Danica still here? But again, I've had time to move past that. So yeah, but I wish in the moment, looking back, I wish I'd said things, Do
you feel like it's all cool now?
It's all cool. I left that villa with them all being like my big dysfunctional family. I've got a lot of love and time for all of them. It's just funny watching it back because I'm just like, But you know, we all do things in the moment, so it's cool. But yeah, you know, like I said, Luca, Paige, they don't deserve the hate that they got or are getting. You know, people have their opinions, and you know, I'm not saying people are wrong for what they're thinking, but I think when you're living with that person, you see all sides of them. So yeah.
Well, listen, let's talk about you bouncing back time after time. Where did you find that resilience, that grit from to just keep going?
If I'm honest, like, I'm so confident. Like, I do find it quite hard to find other women sort of as confident as me, which is really sad because I wish I could give sometimes my confidence to other people, because you've got to believe in yourself. And I think regardless of the knockbacks or people not wanting to get to know me, I thought you'd be so lucky to have me anyway. So if you don't want me, you don't deserve me, you know? So I kind of just sat there and just, anytime I got down or sad, I thought, do you know what? In a couple of weeks when we leave this villa, you guys aren't going to mean anything to me in that respect. You know, friendship's cool, but I'm not going to be sat dwelling on, because actually, were they worthy of me? Not going to lie, no, they weren't. They weren't, you know? So, you know, great boys in there, but not worth my time or my energy to feel so upset about it, not to carry on. And, you know, I went in there to find somebody, and I was going to bloody do that, and that I did.
Yes, Danica! I like want this confidence, like, give me it through the screen. But obviously, talking about like some of the guys, so I feel like in Casa Amor, obviously you had the pick of the bunch, but do you feel like there was maybe some people that kind of tried to use you to, like, not just get back to the villa, but then also in the villa, like, just kind of try and use the fact that you were mainly the only single one?
Yeah, I think obviously if I'm honest, I don't know if Josh did use me as a ticket to get in. I think Josh, we've spoken on the outside now, and I've got to understand him a little bit more, and he sort of said he was just not really in the right headspace. And I do think that about Josh, you know, even in there, I think going into the main villa, I think he was sort of out of his depth. He was a bit like, whoa, there's a lot of drama, people to get to know. You know, we weren't in the main bedroom, so he sort of was isolated. And I think for him, that was a massive thing. I think once we were in there and it was, you know, Adam had chosen Paige, and it was then sort of me as the single one, and there was Billy and Deji. Do I think Billy used me as a single girl? Absolutely. I think it was only me and Coco that he had to pick from. And I think it was just him going, well, I'd rather be with Danica than Coco, so I'm going to pick Danica. I don't think he was actually that interested in me. It is what it is. Do I wish Deji had first pick? Looking on it now, absolutely. Me and Deji, to be honest with you, I think we would have got on like a house on fire and things would have been completely different. But again, things happen for a reason, because if I wasn't coupled up with Billy, then I would have probably been with Deji. Me and Deji might have made things work, and then Jamie wouldn't have maybe got the chance that he did. So
exactly. Well, let's talk about Jamie, because we've seen you doing like an OK cover. I mean, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. How is it all going?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really good, actually. I mean, he's about 2.5 hours away from me, so it is going to be quite hard to navigate how we're going to make things work. But I'm actually seeing him today, which is good. So yeah, I'm going up, to Manchester to go and see him. And we're going to just have a couple of days together and just, you know, date around, see how things go. But yeah, I think the feeling's very mutual. We both like each other. We're both really excited to see where things go. I'm not one to mess around. I don't think he is. You know, he's 27 now. I think he is looking for something serious. So yeah, it's all really good. And obviously the OK shoot was it was amazing. It was such a nice sort of cherry on the top to sort of finish the little Love Island journey that we had.
And I think a lot of people, just because we're like obviously so protective over you now, we're worried that maybe his intentions were, you know, trying to get to the final to use Danica, but I don't know, I feel like his intentions are true.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I don't get that vibe from him. I think my gut and my intuition is usually quite spot on. Like even when Josh acted funny, I remember the day after Casa Amor, I knew something had changed, and all the girls were like, "Oh my god, like you're jumping the gun, like you're being silly." And I was like, "No, girls, I can feel it. Like I know there's something that's not quite right." Whereas with Jamie, like not once did I ever feel in there that he was using me to get to the final. And I think, do you know what? Even if he was, like, I know that his feelings towards me are genuine, and there is that connection there. I can feel it. He lets me be me. He accepts me for who I am, the crazy sides, the fiery sides, the stubborn sides, the loving sides. So yeah, you know, I think if we can make it work, I think we'll be really good together.
Have you reunited yet with the Powerpuff Girls?
Oh, well, I've not really seen India yet, but I bet she's been so busy, and obviously she's trying to navigate her situation with Dami, and she's in London. I'm obviously in the Midlands at the moment. But I've been with Summer. I actually met Summer's mum and her brother, which was really nice. Went to Summer's house and just nice just to like get to speak to her mum, sort of understand Summer a little bit more. But there will be a reuniting. You know, there'll be a reunion very, very soon with the Powerpuff Girls. I can't wait to see India properly, because I only saw the reunion very shortly, the Love Island reunion. So it'll be nice to actually see her just out and about, like just me, her and Summer, just as we were in the villa, you know?
Yeah. And let's talk about the reunion, because first of all, it seemed like everybody was absolutely knackered. But yeah. Secondly, there was obviously the drama between Summer and Coco. How awkward was that in the studio?
Honestly, when the conversation sort of came about with Coco and Summer, nobody expected there to be like little backhanded like comments here and there, and then it just went out of control. It was bonkers. It was just like back and forth. And obviously, Summer's my girl, but I also, you know, Coco was a friend, you know, so it was kind of like, oh my god, like, whoa, what's going on, you know? But I think both of them had points that were valid to make. But obviously, I think for Summer, she'd bottled a lot of things in with, you know, the comment she made about her and Josh in the quarantine villa. And I think Summer had every right to want to say something. I just think obviously it's awkward when it's being aired and it's filmed and it's in such an environment of what it was. Maybe it could have been done privately, but I think Summer, she didn't expect or anticipate to do it then, but she'd been building up inside and it just happened when it did. And you know what? She's only human. So, yeah.
And what would you say to the people that were calling you like a HR manager?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I'm very much like, what people say, it doesn't really harm me. You know, I know who I am and I'm very happy with who I am. it's quite funny, you know, I'm an articulate and quite an intellectual young woman, you know, so I will take it as a compliment. And, you know, one day I would love to be, you know, that businesswoman. I want to be, you know, successful entrepreneur. So I'm glad people already think that status of me.
Any brand, any company would be lucky to have you, because if you put half as much graft as what you did into anything that you did in that villa, honestly, you will smash life. It's been such a pleasure to chat to you. I'm sure I'll get to see you in person soon.
Yes.
And we love you. Thank you, Danica.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so lovely to speak to you, Jodie.